Basic Math, Chapter 17, Section 4, Subtracting Integers. You can use a number line to see how subtracting integers is like adding the opposite integer. And that's our key. It's like adding the opposite integer. Let's see what we mean. -4 plus -2 is going to take us to a -6. So we go to -4, add 2 more negatives, 1, 2, we're at -6. Now what if we had this as a subtraction problem? If we change this positive sign to a subtraction sign, we're keeping the -4s to start, plus changes to minus, the -2 is now the opposite. What's the opposite of -2? +2. So if we start at -4 and we take away 2 more, then we're going to go boom, boom. We just took 2 more away. So that's going to leave us also at -6. So the addition would be -4 plus -2 takes us to -6. The subtraction shows us -4 take away 2 more still leaves us at -6. Notice that subtracting a +2 is just like adding a -2. To subtract an integer, add its opposite. So that's the key. To subtract an integer, add its opposite. So for example, subtract -4, take away -3. Write the problem as it's given, -4, take away -3. Step 2, +3 is the opposite of -3. Change the problem to adding 3. So -4 stays the same. The subtraction changes to addition. The -3 changes to 3. Then use the number line to do that adding. Start at -4 and then add 3, which means you're going to move to the right 3 spaces. So you go start at -4 and then you're going to move to the right 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. And you're left at -1. The number you end at is the answer to the problem as given, and you write the answer, -1. So add the opposite. Example 2. Subtract -2, take away +7. How do we do that? We'll write the problem as it was given. -7 is the opposite of +7, and change that to adding a -7. The -2's to start stay the same. The subtraction problem changes to an addition problem. The +7 becomes -7. Then you can use the number line to add if you need to. So you start at -2, 1, 2, and then you add -7 more. So you move to the left 7 more times, and you end up at -9. And that is the answer to the problem as given. So you write the answer, -2 take away 7 equals -9. And we've got some practice for that. So we have our problems as given already here for us. -2 take away -1. So let's keep the first integer the same, change the subtraction to addition, and the opposite of -1 is just 1. So when we start at -2 and then move 1 space to the right on the number line, we're left off at -1. So we can make a number line to help with that. So we started at -2, and then we added -1. Positive 1. So then we leave off at -1. Too many ones in that problem. All right, number 2. This one is -5, and we're going to take away +2, but let's change that to an addition of its opposite. So when we change that, we are adding the opposite of +2, which would be a -2. So -5 plus -2 means we're going to go -3, -4, -5. Start there and go 2 more spaces to the left on the number line, and we'll end up at -7. So that is the key to working with our subtraction of integers. So you can keep the first problem the same, change the subtraction problem to addition, and then add the opposite of the second integer. So -3's opposite is +3. So we have 4 plus 3, 7. So that's the idea for that one. And let's take a look at the next practice. So practice B, subtract. Remember to rewrite each subtraction as an addition first. So we have -2 plus, now what's the opposite of -4? Just 4. Now if you want, you can always make your number line. So there's 0. So we start at -2, and then you're going to add 4, and you're going to move to the right 4 spaces because it's a +4. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, and we end up at 2. You don't have to put the positive sign when the number is positive. Like we wouldn't have to put equals +2. You could just put 2. All right, let's do one more. 4 plus, no, the opposite of +2 is -2. So 4 plus a -2. So when we start at 4, and then we add a -2, we move to the left 2 times on the number line, and again, we end up at 2. So that's the idea of our practice with subtraction and integers. There's an everyday problem solving practice we can do with Sam. He went scuba diving. He dove 12 feet down below the surface of the water. Sam went down another 5 feet. So write a subtraction problem to describe the situation. So what if we said Sam was at -12 feet, and we want this as a subtraction problem, and then he went down 5 more feet. So -12, take away 5. Number 2, write an addition problem to describe the situation. So he was at -12 feet, and then he added -5 more feet, because we can change the sign to addition, and the opposite of a +5 is a -5. Now, number 3, in all, how far below the surface of the water did Sam dive? So if we go 12 spaces to the left of the 0, we start at -12, and if we add another -5, we move to the left 5 more spaces on the number line to get to a total of -17. Then Sam rose 9 feet toward the surface of the water. How far below the surface of the water is he now? So if we started at -17 now, and we added 9 feet, now we're moving to the right on the number line 9 spaces. And that isn't going to get us all the way up, but where will it take us to? It'll get us to 8, negative 8 feet. Still 8 feet below the water. And label your answer, feet. And there's more practice in your workbook for Chapter 17, Section 4. Thank you very much, and don't forget to ask questions if you would like.